Imagine being the only one from your country to ever step foot on an NBA court. The only one carrying the hopes and dreams of millions on your shoulders. Today, we're diving into the unique stories of those who stood alone, the only NBA players from their countries. From overcoming incredible odds to representing their nations on the world's biggest basketball stage, these are the tales of the NBA's Lone Rangers. Part 1. We start off with Bruno Fernando, who waves the Angolan flag. The 6'10" center started his basketball career in the African country and moved to the U.S. only when university scouts noticed him in the Under-17 World Championships. He declared himself in the 2019 NBA draft, where he was selected as the 34th pick. Though he hasn't exactly blossomed in the NBA, Fernando has managed to get a foothold in the league, representing Atlanta Hawks, Boston Celtics, and Houston Rockets over 4 years, and even getting a taste of playoff basketball back in 2021. Born in Harlem, New York, Julius Hodge actually represented Antigua and Barbuda on the international stage. That was because his father was from there and was even deported back to the Caribbean island when Hodge was 9 years old. Though he had a long basketball career internationally, Hodge only lasted 2 seasons in the NBA, playing a total of 23 games for Denver Nuggets and Milwaukee Bucks. Jakob Poeltl's parents were both members of Austrian national volleyball team, but for some reason, the 7'1" center fell in love with basketball. That path first led him to the NCAA, where he received both the Pete Newell Big Man Award and the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award while playing for Utah. After 2 years in college, the Austrian decided to leap for the NBA, where he has now spent 7 seasons with the Toronto Raptors and San Antonio Spurs. Bulgarian Georgi Gluchkov became the first Eastern European to play in the NBA back in 1985 when the Phoenix Suns invited him over. Unfortunately, his NBA career only lasted 1 season, and the 6'8" power forward returned to Europe after that. Though born and raised in Virginia, Josh Reeves holds Bolivian passport thanks to his parents. After 4 seasons as a member of the Penn State Nittany Lions, Reeves tried his luck in the NBA. He went undrafted in the 2019 draft, but Dallas Mavericks did give him a 2-way contract the same year, allowing him to get 4 valuable and historic NBA games under his belt. Next is a player who our viewers already know very well. Walter Tavares is the sole representative of small African island Cape Verde. Back in 2015, the Atlanta Hawks invited the towering center over from Europe, but not much success continued. Tavares spent most of the time in the G League and only managed to step on the NBA floor 13 times, before heading back to Europe, where he dominates the courts now. Despite flirting with both local street gangs and basketball, Jamie Echenique decided to pick the latter, while growing up on the streets of Barranquilla. Though the 26-year-old center has spent most of his career in Europe, he did make Colombian basketball history on December 30, 2021. That was the day when Washington Wizards handed him a 10-day contract and allowed him to make his NBA debut against Cleveland Cavaliers. When Russia invaded Ukraine in February of 2022, Danish guard Gabriel Lundberg decided to leave his then-employer Moscow CSKA. Unemployment, however, didn't last long, as 2 weeks later the Phoenix Suns signed him to a 2-way contract, making him the first Danish player to appear in the NBA. When he was young and raw-skilled center at the College of St. Rose, the 7 feet 2 inches and 315-pound Garth Joseph was compared to Shaquille O'Neal. Those comparisons didn't hold up, as the Dominican only appeared in 4 NBA games with the Denver Nuggets and Toronto Raptors. Martin Mirseb became the first Estonian in the NBA when he was drafted in 1996. He started his career with the Miami Heat but was traded to the Dallas Mavericks halfway through the season. The NBA lockout, however, cut his NBA career short, as more money was offered at the same time in Europe. Growing up, Mamadi Diakite played soccer in streets of Conakry, the capital of Guinea, but later switched to basketball because of his height and athleticism. That decision first opened his doors to the NCAA and then to the NBA, when Milwaukee Bucks gave the 6'9" center a chance in 2020-21 season. Though Diakite only played for the Bucks 14 times in the regular season, he also provided some minutes in the long playoff run, which culminated with the NBA championship. The Guineans' next 2 seasons have passed in Oklahoma City and Cleveland respectively. With some better luck, David Cornell also would have been NBA champion. The Chicago Bulls signed him on October 1, 1997, but waived him a month later, forcing him to return to Hungary and watch Chicago's three-peat from the TV. Then, in the summer of 1998, Bulls came knocking again, and Cornell agreed to join them. That started the power forward's 3-year NBA career, during which he played for the Bulls, Cleveland Cavaliers, Toronto Raptors, and Detroit Pistons.